Now, this prayer is very, very important concerning BETH-EL, as we are entering into the seventh sabbatical period known as wettito, Bamarinya, and Amharic, and YAIQOB or Wayyetse, according to the Ashkenazi pronunciation, Wayyetse, wettito, which means coming out. Now, Bethel, as we mentioned, or BETH-EL, it becomes because of Yacub's vision, his raiy there, one of the significant places in the Metah for the scriptures. To the Christian, Meshahawian, the anointed, it stands for a realization, however imperfect, of the heavenly, the Samayawi, and the Menphasawi contents, or the Yizota of Imnet, answering to Hawaria Paulos' prayer, the prayer that we just read from Ephesians chapter 1, verses 17 to 23. Now, Bamarinya, we need to go over it in Amharic, Paul's prayer. It's a very important prayer. Besama'ab, weweld, wemenefesik, adus, ahadu, amlak. Wada Efeson Saoch, Raf An, Kakut Erasara, Mista, Iski Kut Era Hayasos, in the Milo. Selezine degmo be inante zena selemihon be gita be Yesusa sele mamena lek dusan hulua selemihona maudeda semiche selenante ya mesegenuhu Elia selenante masasebin ala tawum Yacub rabata yegetachinye Yesusa Christos amlaka rusuna bemawek yet bebna ye megaletina menfes india set achu elemenalo yehima ye lebachu wa ainocha si beru ye metaratu tesfa minindihona bekdusane mazenda yalo ye rista kubura balet egneta minindihona le minamina kahulu bemia belita ye khailu atalak neta minindihona taukuzendno Christos nema komutana siyasa nesawa ka aleknetina ka sultanema ka hailema ka getnetimo huluwa belayina bezi alema bicha saihon negergin limeta balo alema degmowa kamiyat arawa simuhulu belay besemayawi sifra bekenyu siyasa kemtowa be Christosa badergo sera yebertatua gulbeta yitayal hulunema ka grubeta cha asagazaleta ko huluwa belaye maras ndihon le beta Christiana seto arswama akaluna huluna be huluwa yemia mola ya arsuwa mulatunat. Targum, the translation being Hawaria Paulos' prayer. I have heard of your faith in Gita Jesus and your love toward all the Kedusan, the holy ones, the saints. And for this reason, I do not cease to give thanks for you as I remember you in my prayers. I pray that the God of our Gita Jesus Christos, the Father of glory, may give you a spirit of wisdom and revelation as you come to know him, as you come into the gnosis, the gnosis of him, so that with the eyes of your heart enlightened or illuminated, you may know, have gnosis of what is the hope or expectation to which he has called you. What are the riches of his glorious inheritance among the Kedusan, or the saints, the holy ones, and what is the immeasurable greatness of his power for us who admit in truth according to the working of his great power. Elohim put this power to work in the Mashiach, or Christos, the anointed Christ, when he raised him from the mutan, or the dead ones, the duat, and seated him at his right hand in the heavenly places, the celestial places, far above all rule and authority and power and dominion, and above every name that is named, not only in this age, but also in the age to come. And he has put all things under his feet, and has made him the head, or the ras, over all things, for the Beta Christian, or the church, the house of the anointed ones, the Beta Meshahawiyan, which is his body, akalu, the fullness of him, the mulatu, or the pleroma, who fills all in all. Arswam akaluna hulun behulu yemiyamola yarsu mulatunat. Now see, this prayer is important for us to focus on right here as we're learning from the study notes. These are the study notes for the 7th sabbatical parasha, or kufl, the portion, the feeding and the reading. Now, dispensationally, concerning the BETH-EL, the scene speaks of Israel, the nation, cast out of the land of promise, test for hope, expectation, because of evil doing there, but holding the promise, the test for the expectation, the hope of restoration and barakat and blessing. Now this concerns us as the once lost but now found Beta Israel, even in this prophetic time. This is why we have to redeem the times, because the days are evil. Redeem the time, and to keep the senbet, to remember to keep the senbet, yet to keddasa. Now Genesis 28 and 15 and Deuteronomy 30 verses 1 to 10 also has references from the Schofield. So this is very important right here, this particular sabbatical study, the 7th. To, quote, an Israelite indeed, end quote, Christ, the Mashiach, the anointed, or the HERU, the chosen, the elect, speaks of YAIQOB's raiy, speaks of Jacob's vision as to be fulfilled in the Son of Man, in and through Lich Teferi, in and through Ras Teferi, according to Genesis 28 and 12 and John chapter 1 verses 47 to 51. So this is just the beginning of the 7th sabbatical reading and feeding and study, the parasha right here, that begins with the key words in Genesis 28 and 10, and Yacub went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. He went toward Haran. Now, it also speaks as we go forward to the 29th chapter, because this reading is from Genesis 28 and 10 to Genesis 32 and 3, and this is an overview right here, that in chapter 27, Yacub's years at Haran are very, very interesting, and a reminder to the Mezamoran disciples to look up the names. When you come across various names in the text, look up these names and look up the meanings. A good reference is the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. A good reference that we would advise, the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. But of course, the basic is the Schofield study and the Schofield reference, to look behind the words, where the words come from, and what are the meanings on the record for these names. Like, what does YAIQOB really mean, and BETH-EL, Bethel mean, and Padan Aram mean? What does Canaan mean? What does Abraham mean? What does Yitzhak mean? What do these names mean? Now here, speaking of Yacub at Haran, there is a striking illustration, according to the mythos, if not a type of the nation descended from him, speaking of us, because this is our ancestor, in its present long dispersion, in our present long dispersion. You see, our history as so-called black folks over here goes beyond even the 400 years over here in the Americas, in the wilderness of the Americas. It's much, much longer than that. Some people think, oh, we just come from West Africa and that's where it began. No, it is much longer. There's a longer dispersion for us as the once lost but now found Beta Israel. Now, like Israel, he was one, speaking of YAIQOB at Haran, he was one out of the place of blessing. He was two, without an altar. He was three, he gained an evil name. Fourthly, was under the covenant care of Yahweh. Fifthly, and was ultimately brought back. In other words, was ultimately redeemed. This is speaking of our redemption and our kinsman redeemer.